Hello, the name is Osvaldo Antonio Nyaka, and welcome to another one of these short enlightenment videos where we explore human behavior, human nature, as well as talk about some philosophies that impact human behavior. So these principles, my hope is that you take some of these principles and apply them, and in the process, they can make a difference in your life. And today we are actually going to talk about the common thread that high achievers or people who perform at the highest levels actually have. So in the past about 2 to 3 weeks, I've been spending some time in terms of finding out what goes into high achievers. What's the common thread? Why do some people get to perform at the high level when it comes to life in different areas, from sports to business to even music individuals who perform in the arts? And this study led me to study the majority of the people that I studied are around the areas of business. And these are CEOs and founders, and sometimes even people who have climbed up the corporate ladder. What separates them from ordinary individuals? This study led me to actually study about 29 to 30 individuals, and each individual has a level of mastery in the industry that they're in. And we're actually going to be talking about what are the common threads that these individuals display. The number one thing that I found in these individuals is that they had a bigger vision, and they sustain a big vision of what's actually possible. If you see or study anyone who's in a high position in a business, a CEO, you'll see that they lead through vision. They tend to have a bigger vision of what is possible. When you study someone who takes up a CEO position, for example, at a bank might be a very old institution, but the reason why a CEO stays in that position is because he believes that in the future, the services that the company provides is going to grow. And in that growth, he wants to fulfill that vision. And every single action that he takes is directed towards fulfilling that vision. Unless a CEO or a founder has a grander vision for what's possible, then he won't actually be able to sustain that position. And the second thing that I found is that they actually love the products that they get to work with. You find the founder of LinkedIn, when he was developing the company PayPal, he had this deep love, and he believed that PayPal is the future for the services that he wants to provide. He knew that at some point, this business will grow. It will grow not to serve millions of people, but it actually will grow to serve billions and billions of people. I also studied the CEO of Boeing. You'll find that he believes that his airline is the best in the air services. He believes that in that field, unless you are actually flying in a Boeing, then you are not actually flying at all. So they have this deep conviction and this deep love for the products that they want to bring to the world. And that love is expressed through the visions that they have. And in these visions that they have, you actually get to see them express that love. When you ask them, what is it that you do? You'll see that majority of the time is spent in building that vision, in building that products and service that actually serve humanity. And when you ask them, why do you continue to do what you do? You'll see that it's because they love what they do. And because they love what they do, they spend majority of the time doing that. And what you'll find in an organization and in any business, you'll find different levels of people interacting in a business. And if you read a book by Alan Mackenzie, which is called The Time Trap, what that book does is that it actually highlights the different levels or functions within a business. And in The Time Trap, it goes on to explain that if you're a CEO or a founder of a business, the less time you spend in the daily functions, the more time you get to spend in developing a vision of what's possible for the business or the product and service that you're creating. And in the process, you actually delegate the daily tasks in order to fulfill that vision. And you'll find that this is most common with CEOs. CEOs tend to think in the next 20 to 50 years. That's where their mindset is in developing these products and services. And this common thread is found throughout. Even when you go to an individual who is involved in music production or in the arts, they produce music artwork that would continue to live on 20 to 50 years. We all know today of artists that have passed on, but we still continue to listen to their music. So in this common thread, what they do is they have this grand vision. And after having that grand vision, they develop a mission. That mission is actually in the products and services that they want to offer to the world. So for instance, the CEO of Boeing, his mission is to get as many people as possible flying Boeing. The founder of LinkedIn, his mission is to get enough people globally using LinkedIn. And that's how they grow their businesses. And through that mission, that's what they express. They express that. And now what they do on a daily basis, they actually master the art of actually taking micro actions. Micro actions, if you read a book titled The Atomic Habits or The Compound Effect, they talk about the very same thing. So micro actions are these small daily tasks that you do that over the years compound to fulfilling that mission. So they got this high mission or this grand vision, and through the grand vision, they then develop a mission or mission statement through a business or through a service that they want to provide. And after having that mission statement, they then go in and say, okay, what are the highest priority actions that I can take today that can fulfill the highest mission? And these are I love to call these micro actions, because micro actions are just about 4 to 5 actions that one can take every single day that over a period of time accumulate and make up and fulfill that grand mission. So what is it that you can do if you want to think like CEO or do things that high achievers do? One is to first develop your mission. And that mission will be a direct ripple effect of the vision that you have for your life and the vision that you have that you want to fulfill in society, in humanity, and in the world. And through developing that mission, then what you want to do is then go in and ask yourself, what are the daily tasks that I can do that can most fulfill that mission? And when you think like a CEO or a high achiever, you'll find that majority of the things that you do are things that only you can do in the business or in the products and services that you're developing. Anything else that's a lower priority, you're actually learning to delegate that part. You'll find that CEOs are very good at delegating and getting people together to fulfill that mission. So what you're doing as a CEO on a daily basis is you're saying, what's the one thing that only I can do in this business? And if that one thing that you can only do has to do with developing the products or services, you then have to find a way to delegate the rest of it. Once you delegate the rest of it, you're then starting to build teams around what you're doing. And you'll see that CEOs are very great at building teams. They're not very great at doing the day-to-day operations of a business. They're not very good at taking care of every single little detail that has to do with the customer, but they're very good at putting together different teams to fulfill the mission and the vision. And that's what you want to learn how to do. You want to learn how to delegate parts of your business or parts of your life that don't fulfill that highest priority of that mission. And what you want to do is to figure out, in actual fact, what are the highest priorities in your business. If in your business, the highest priority is to get a customer paying, you got to figure out, okay, how do I get that priority within the business? If the highest priority is getting a customer, for example, to use LinkedIn, what you're then doing is you are looking for the actions that you can take to get that customer to fulfill that role of using that LinkedIn. And how you do that, again, it goes back to what the mission and the vision of the business is. And if you're using this for your personal life, what you're then doing is you're actually discovering what your own unique hierarchy of values are. If, for instance, your hierarchy of values says that the most important thing for you is to actually make as much money as possible, now what you're then asking yourself is, what is the highest priority action that I can take that can get me to get the highest income possible? Now you're looking at what is my capabilities and my capacity, and how do I then express that to the world? And you'll find that these high achievers, some CEOs, when asked, did you ever think that you would be in this service or in this business? Most of them will tell you, no, I did not think that I would be a CEO of an insurance company or be a CEO of a Boeing aeroplane company, but I was called into it because of my capacity and my skills. And that is what got me through the door, because I built up the capacity and the skills to understand human beings and to understand how to build different teams. So because of their vision and their mission, that's what gets followers. And these high individuals or these high achievers master the art of developing a vision that allows them to bring people together and to serve the world. And if you actually want to go delve deeper into this, I'd actually recommend that you watch a documentary of Michael Phelps. You'll see how Michael Phelps took his vision of winning 8 gold medals within a single Olympic tournament, and how he took that vision and detailed it very to the last details in his swimming practices, how these little micro actions led him to win 8 gold medals. So he was very good at saying, what are the small little micro actions that I'm going to do on a daily basis that at the end will accumulate to me fulfilling this mission and the vision. And that's what great individuals do. They focus on having this great vision mission and taking every step and taking control of every single micro action that they do on a daily basis. And what you want to do as a takeaway from this is to actually identify what are the 4 to 5 high priority actions that you can take on a daily basis that can fulfill your mission and your vision. And just as some parting words that I'd actually urge you, go in and discover what your hierarchy of values are. Always refer to Dr. DeMartini's work. Go in there, type in DeMartini value determination process, because that will help you to unlock what your vision, what your mission is. Then you then ask, what are the daily actions that I can take to fulfill that? And I just want to say thank you for joining me today, and may this week be a great one. And yeah, good luck to you.